right. How is everyone doing this evening? The evening before a new year. And I am very excited to be able to do this before the new year. That's why I do my podcast on Monday because everyone has nothing else to do on Monday nights, right? Or is that just me? But anyway, tonight we welcome everyone to our podcast. It is our last podcast of 2024, and tonight will be a great one as we will be discussing 2024 and a recap, and also talking about our New Year's resolution, New Year's goals, and how we can, I guess you can say, not give up on your New Year's after January 3rd. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But first, I'd like to introduce our guest. As always, my co-host Lillian. She's with us this evening wearing red, and my other co-host Kenzie G. She's tuning in tonight because she's off work. And our special guest this evening, you all know her as Lady Outlaw, and you also known her as Jenny Mills in the Red Huntress. We like to introduce Lisa Butala. So welcome to our podcast, the last one of the year. It's always the best. So, like I said earlier, they called each other. Lillian called each other, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna wear red today. Just you wear a turtleneck, and I'm
Coordinated.
like,
I think I was subconsciously representing cranberries, so
oh, so we're gonna get into the cranberry and
like
bimbos conversation as we did
yes.
before. And
Yeah, because Paul gave a shout out to cranberries and bimbos,
he
so
did.
gotta acknowledge that.
I will go ahead and let's put this right here. Right here. Here we go. So, uh,
I'm
ooh,
sorry, I'm sharing the link.
ooh, that's all right. I got sound alerts paired. I don't know what
Oh,
all
that's
this.
fine. So I
All
have
this.
it streaming to my Twitch.
Oh, okay, okay,
So just kind of ignore the sound alerts, but
okay.
real chill gaming is me.
All right, all right. Well, there you have it. So, Paul says good evening to everyone. Paul, how was your evening? Last time I seen you, we were stuck in a garage with a propane heater trying to stay warm. So, he also says, here we go. Let me put that up there. Oh, there it is. All right, cranberries and bimbos, and we will talk about that. And we are going to corrupt Lisa's ears this evening with all that stuff. So, first of all, Lisa, how are you doing this evening? How are you enjoying life?
I'm good. I miss you guys. It's been a hot minute.
It's been a while, like a
Hmm.
while, but time's flying by pretty quickly. Any new films you've been in? Well, first, as everyone knows, Lisa played as Jenny Mills in The Red Huntress,
Hmm.
which, yes, I mean, everyone's knowing what happened at the end. I will not spoil anything because episode 2 is coming out very soon, probably within the next week or so. So I'm not going to spoil anything about what's going on, but yes, Lisa plays as Jenny Mills. Yeah, so what's going on, Lisa? Have you been doing any other filming since oh September? I guess I'll just say that.
Mostly just writing the post production on Lady Outlaw. So that came out. It's on Amazon and Tubi now. So I'm very
Oh,
excited about
very
that.
nice.
And then working on a spy thriller in the upcoming year. So I'm very excited.
Oh, ooh. Mission Impossible, kind of.
That has that type of feel. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
that's the goal.
I actually haven't seen all of them. I only seen one of them. So,
Sorry, we can't be friends anymore, Keith. I'm
well,
sorry.
that's fine. Delete, block after
Just
this
like
one.
Lisa has left the Zoom.
Yeah, just has left the. That's awesome. That's really cool.
Nice.
What is your how's Lady Outlaw doing? Because I know that's like I haven't watched it yet. I always wanted to watch it, but I haven't had time to see it yet because work has been kicking my ass. But how is it? Like, what's everyone saying about it? Don't spoil it for me though. Like, come on, details, details,
Oh
details.
gosh, what's not to spoil? People are liking it, which I've got some great feedback, for
Okay, okay.
myself and everyone that's a part of it. We had a really great ensemble of a casting crew.
Nice.
So it's coming back a lot of great feedback. I'm glad people are getting it. The ending, it does leave different interpretations depending on how you watch it. So that's been interesting to hear people's interpretation of the character and the decisions she makes in the end.
Okay.
Um,
Can
but
you give
yeah, it's good.
a briefing about it? Like, 'cause I know there's two parts to it, right? Is this like so Lady Outlaw is the second? Because I know you were filming something else. It's the same thing, but it's like the story, and then there's like a side off story. Is that how Lady Outlaw is?
Yeah, so
Oh,
I played the same character in a western called The Oldest Posse. And
oh,
I was like an under five. She was just one of the female outlaw members, but she was based off of a called Rose Dunn. And researching her story, the director really loved what we found out about her. And he said, be a great spin-off idea. And he wrote the script and I just fell in love with it. I mean, she's such an incredible person. And it's got a little bit of action, a little bit of romance, it's got comedy that we were able to stay on the historical path and stay true to everything we know from the history books, but then also have that interpretation of what we think happened to make it a really, powerful story.
that is awesome. That's very awesome. Uh, I'm sorry, someone messaged me. I'm sorry. I listen. I ordered pizza, and I'm like, yo, y'all need to hurry up because I am hungry. But now I got to eat it after the podcast because I don't like eating in front.
Don't get
No,
hangry,
I
Keith.
won't get hangry.
Oh man,
Mm,
I'm eating it.
That's
I'm
how it is.
sorry.
You just got to eat. She's like, I'm eating.
I'm just gonna be on camera, just munching.
you gotta eat. You gotta eat.
So, um, so that's awesome. That's really cool. And like
Thanks.
I love watching films or even doing films that have some sort of history behind it. Or it's like,
Yeah.
and then you can add your own twist to it. It's like, how far truth is this? And then you start making your own interpretation. So that's really cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Lillian, what have you
Thanks.
been doing? Oh, can't hear you, Lillian.
There we go.
There,
Sorry, guys. I had to mute it because somebody came in and I didn't want it to be
better not be my
loud.
pizza
Well,
person.
yeah, not the pizza person. We had pizza last night, so
Oh, you
we're
didn't call me.
fulfilled with our
That's how it
pizza-ness.
is.
I know. I've been working on actually doing editing of captions for my film Deranged that is complete. It's been screened, and now I'm trying to get it to be approved for streaming services, and it's very strict about their like quality control standards. And I basically I did it where it's like I guess you could say an AI thing of automatically grabbing the captions, but it's all messed up. So I have to meticulously go through, and it's extremely tedious and time consuming because they're very like it has to be lined up exactly like to the micro
Can't you
millisecond.
pay for
And
that when you upload them?
yes, but I'm trying to save some money because I've overspent. I see Max doing this.
Yay!
Yeah, so I've overspent with my film, as one does, I guess. But so I'm just trying to do it myself to kind of learn the process and hopefully save some money on it. It may be something like I'll take all this time to do it, then I'll submit it, and they're gonna be like rejected, this and that is wrong, and I might be like, oh screw it, I'm just gonna pay. But I kind of want to try to do it myself, I guess,
I
just to
I would
kind of
try.
learn.
It's good
Yeah.
learning, and then if you can't do it, then I would just pay for it. It sucks because I heard it's like
Yeah,
six
I'll just
hundred
suck it
dollars.
up
Is it
and
about $500-600? It
what's
was like
that?
$500-600.
It was a little surprisingly, it was a little less than that, for because I'm going through
Okay,
Film Hub, and it's
Mm.
like 300 and
that's not.
something. And again, I'm just like It just has been an expensive year for me, so I'm like, I'm just trying to trim where I can. If I can do it, I mean, that'd be
I
great.
don't blame
On
you.
the bright side,
So it's that's been take. What's
on
that,
the bright
Mac?
side, this year's almost over.
That's right.
There.
That's right. Time to back end of your show.
Yes, the last one of the year, and then next year, next year. Wow, yeah, yeah, next
So
year,
like next week,
next week, yeah, next week. When your job's like, ah, I'll
Yeah.
see you next year, buddy.
back
And
to
it's
regular
like,
business.
yeah, back to regular business. So we got someone in the chat. Hang on, hang on, hang on.
Yeah, it says $1.50 a minute. Is that
Not,
for doing captions?
not,
Not so
not so
sane
sane
entertainment.
entertainment. I guess that's what he means. $1.50 a minute.
Hi,
1.5.
welcome to the podcast.
Yes. Oh yeah. By the way, welcome to the podcast. First of all. Yeah. So,
We see,
um,
that's a new viewer. That's a
yes,
new
that
comment
I think
share.
that's a
Like
new
that's pretty
viewer we
exciting.
have. Yeah, it's a new viewer. So welcome to the podcast. For anyone who wants to tune in, the chat box is open. So go ahead and just throw your comments, whatever you feel like, all that stuff.
Whew.
Bless you.
Excuse
No
me.
sneezing allowed.
Thank
Right?
you.
Bless
You
you.
read the rules.
I'm getting all my sneezes out before the end of the year.
There you go.
So, so I guess it's 1.5 a minute, one or a
A
dollar
dollar
50 a
fifty,
minute. So
which seems really cheap if you
yeah,
ask
but
me.
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
It could be, but if it's
What?
time and it's accurate, I would do it. But that's if you have.
Well, mine is like I think mine's 90 minutes. Is it 90 minutes?
So that would be.
Forget now.
Mhm.
Let's see. Let's do the math here. So
I
you got 90 minutes. You said
think about 90 minutes. Let's see.
that's
Yeah.
$135.
Yeah, that's pretty cheap. I don't think it's.
Yeah, and who knows? Like if I log on to Film Hub now, they might have upped it. I wouldn't be surprised if it's
Don't
like, oh, now it's.
I
don't
mean,
forget the taxes and the or not tax. I'm sorry, the fees. There could be also fees they add on to it that could
And
get you.
that's
Mm.
only for English subtitles. So like, they recommend like, oh, try and do it in as many languages as you can. Well, it's like I'm not going to be paying for 1,000 languages. It's like, sorry,
No, I wouldn't.
there's no way. You
I
know,
would not.
it would have to be so targeted. Like I'd have to really think ahead of time, be like, well, is it worth it for me to do it in, I don't know, in any country? Like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
you're gonna have to see if it's worth it or
Mhm.
not. I mean, it's up to you. I mean, I know. I think everyone just goes on to Tubi and they watch it, and if they have to, they'll just watch it as is. I watched like Korean films and like films that are not English, and I just watch the subtitles. I know it's a little bit harder for some people, but I watch anime, so when I watch anime, I'm so used to reading the subtitles in English, but I listen to it in Japanese. So people are like, "What are you doing?" It's like,
Oh, I love subtitles on stuff. I mean, I'll have it on on things that are in English, just because sometimes I don't know, it forces me to focus on the screen. Where sometimes I tend to like when I watch something, I'm like, I'm everywhere. Like I'm in my head,
Mhm.
I'm looking around doing this.
right,
So it's like if I watch looking at the
Mhm.
subtitles, it kind of forces me more to focus, I
right,
guess. And also, if you don't understand something in a film, like and you're like, oh, that's what they said. That's what that was. Like where you watch it. I mean, truly,
Yeah.
there's been movies and shows that I've watched before without subtitles. Thought, it got recorded in my brain as them saying whatever it may be. And then when I watched it later, like more recently, and I saw this, I'm like, oh, that's what that was. I never knew that.
or you get really, really bad English dubs where their mouth is moving, but they're
Mm.
saying
Oh, those are fun.
something
Yeah.
completely different, and you're like, "What?" Like,
What was that show? I
Yeah.
think it's an anime, but like in Korea, it's or Japan, it's like really like obnoxious. But then when they translate it to English, they said to the translators, just do whatever you want, and the translators like made it like so funny.
I forgot what anime that was, but they just said go at it.
Oh,
It was so bad, but it was funny. I forgot what anime it was called. I have to
it
look
was
that
so
up.
bad. It was
It was like
good.
not even bad. It's like when you're like, okay, here's like
Here's like the basics of what you need, but
have
like you
fun.
don't have to stick with like the scripting.
Right.
And they went like completely off the wall, and it was just funny.
I know exactly. I just don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. That's cool. So Mac, what have
Yeah.
you been up to lately?
Mute your mic.
All
That
right,
way I don't have to yell.
there.
Okay.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Okay.
Okay,
Mm.
cool.
I have
I really haven't been up to a whole lot. Like we just got over Christmas. I made last time I was on the podcast, we were kind of talking about like Kenzie's candles.
I
I
know.
made.
You're loud.
I'm not even talking that loud. I'm so sorry.
You're loud.
Um,
I'm taking off the headphones. My eardrums are
I'm sorry.
You're good.
But
But yeah, like
I
I made candles for everybody for Christmas, so I'm just kind of like in like an in between where it's like people aren't really ordering anything, but like it's not completely dead either. Um, and then other than that, I'm just working my day job.
All right. I mean, I can hear you through my headphones. I'm like, my ears. Well, that's cool. That's awesome. That's another thing. It's working, 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 and you're trying to do filming, and you're trying to do all these things, and it's like I would say it's one of the hardest. I think one of the wow.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm trying to turn.
Oh, where did you go?
Oh, and she's
okay.
gone.
She's got to go back into
I'll be
it.
back.
Okay, you'll come. Okay.
Mm.
So
Famous last
yeah,
words,
famous
Mark.
last words she
Don't die.
said. I'll be right back.
Keith, is your mic changing
Yes, it
colors?
is. Yeah,
That's
it's
pretty
it's like
cool.
a green, blue. Yeah.
It's a mood mic.
Can you
So
say it?
every breath you take, that if you're
Hmm.
irritated, if you're whatever, it's like
Yeah, it's like
it
I'm
reads your mood.
hangry, so I need
You're
what's
hangry, yeah.
right up on top. Uh, I got
Yeah.
3 messages.
Hmm.
People are like going crazy right now on my messengers. Like, why do you want? I hate it when you have nothing else going on and no one wants to bother you. And once you
Mm,
start getting busy,
yeah.
like
Yep.
on set, make fun
Tell me about it.
up
Yes.
so
Oh my
much,
gosh.
and it's
That's
like, leave me alone. Like, please, I'm busy. And then I message them later, and they're like,
yeah.
sorry, bro, I'm sleeping. I'm like, what? Like, take a sleep.
Timing is
So,
everything.
that's like filming and having a job is so hard because just trying to get everything together is difficult as itself. So I guess you say being an independent filmmaker, whether it's a filmmaker or an actor, it just gives you the worst headaches because you're trying to navigate your job with filming and all this other stuff, and it's like blah.
Hmm.
So, well, so I guess everyone wants to know. They've been asking me what's the update going on with the Red Huntress. Because I've been kind of quiet, but I'm being quiet because it's the holidays. I don't want to bother people. I don't want to bother your social media. I don't want you to be sitting there around the Christmas tree and say, "Oh, look, Keith posted something on the Red Huntress page." Who cares? So basically, well, first of all, I can definitely say that I'm very excited to say that we did hit. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up right on here. We did hit 4,000 views in a month, so I'm pretty
Woo!
happy about that. I know it's not a lot, but it's something, in a month. So it's
Yeah.
getting momentum. It's going there. So thank you to everyone who's been sharing and posting and telling people about it because it's just awesome. So I appreciate it. I just finished sending out all the perks from episode 1 and 2. And let me tell you, it's such a relief
Nice.
when you put everything together because shipping, um, making like certificates and all the custom things. So that was a pain in the butt, but it was definitely worth it. Getting things signed and all that other stuff. So episode 2, I'm planning on releasing within the next 2 weeks. Um, there's like slight editing that needs to be done, and then it's going to Mac for audio, and for soundtrack. So she's gonna have a lot to do. So we should have that done, and then filming. We're looking at starting in February because it's fundraising time. There's always that little gap where we need fundraising time. And when I tell you episode 3 is going to be so dark and horror, like
It's gonna be awesome.
it's
Though.
going to be great. And we have some cool places that um, we want to get, like they're old churches that are venues now that we want to film at
Mm.
for everything. And we just really want to step up our game for this. And, it's going to be tough. So we have to raise like $3,500 because the locations are expensive. Like some of them are charging like 150 an hour, but it's definitely worth it because we're gonna have some cool
Mm.
perks. And I haven't really updated the Red Huntress Indiegogo yet, so I'm gonna be doing that soon. But it's gonna be geared towards episode 3, so it's probably gonna be our toughest funding goal. But I think we can definitely get it with the cool perks and everything like that. I mean, I was just about to give away the story just a little bit, so I can't say it. Everyone,
Mhm.
all of us know what's going on,
Go
but
check
the
out
audience.
Indiegogo if you want to know more.
Yeah, when that's up, I will make sure. What are we on? By Thursday, I will have a brand new Indiegogo relayed out specifically for episode 3, so everyone knows, what they're donating to, why we need it, and all that good stuff. Because I'm pretty good at keeping things cheap, but for this one, I kind of want to go real crazy about, especially with the venue, because hey, the sites and locations are one of the most important things to sell your project. So we'll be looking into that more. So give me till Thursday, and I'll get that all set up for everyone. And for those who bought a perk from episode 1 and episode 2, you guys should be getting your tracking number soon. So just heads up for that. On the awesome cool side, one of the perks that we're giving away is our gas mask, which will be used in episode 3. I'm gonna just throw it on. Hang on, because I like gas mask. Why? Why?
Because you did that earlier.
Why? Here we go. Ugh.
Beautiful.
Listen, all right. I'm still fixing this one up, but
I love how we can still hear you
You're
clearly with it on.
actually, I was going to say, yeah, I'm
there
surprised.
we go. All right.
Just do the whole podcast like that.
Should I just do it the whole podcast like this?
Hmm.
Yeah.
I can hold on. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. So
Hmm.
I'm just gonna do the whole podcast like this, as long as I can handle it, because I'm getting handy right now. So
It can be yours.
I actually think that's unique. I think people would just tune in and just be like, what
Yeah,
the F is going
it's
on?
something.
here you go.
That's
There
what
we
I mean.
go. There it is.
Nice.
Oh,
That's your new poster for your podcast right there.
So some people have like the face paint, and now you just have the mask.
Hmm.
yeah.
That's your thing.
So I totally made this all out of
Mhm.
foam in like an hour. So it's pretty cool.
Nice.
So we're gonna have some.
You are good with
Yeah,
props.
I mean, I love my prop. Thank you. I'm excited to do more props and awesome things. I feel weird with this on right now.
I can't get over how it bounces when you talk.
mean-
It's great.
Yo, yo, yo! This is DJ Mask on the mic this evening. So yeah. So let's talk about New Year's. New Year's, new me type of stuff. Okay, how do you all feel about New Year, new me?
Ooh.
Can anyone hear me? No.
Everybody can hear you.
Oh, they can hear. Oh, okay. Okay. It just got really quiet. So how do you,
I am for the new year, the old me. Like I want to like shift back some years. I was younger, I was skinnier. Like I'm all about the old me. And new year, new old me.
Lisa, how about for you?
I like it. It's I mean, it's just a date, but at the same time it's a reflecting point. Like you can look back where you were that same time last year, be like, wow, I accomplished a lot of stuff. So I like it. It's it goes by, but it's something that, whether you do a resolution or not, it's like, okay, look where we are.
Nice.
So
Matt, how about you?
yeah, I like it.
I mean, it's for me. It's just like okay, whatever. Like it's the same shit, different day. Same shit, different year. Like obviously, everybody tries to be better.
Yeah.
Tries to do better, and like Lisa said, it's a reflecting point, and like what you do
Hmm.
like in your life at this point,
Mhm.
like pushing it over, and hoping that it's not in your life at this point. But like at the end of the day, like I still gotta get up and go to work the next day.
So what would you tell so I'll go down the line again.
Okay.
What would you do differently this year, in a good way, of course. Everything's in a positive way. Don't go backwards. What would you
Will do.
do? What would you do in a good way or next year, um, that you didn't do uh, this year? Let's start with you, Lisa.
Ooh. I think honestly, I try to do it and then I always don't do it. But like enjoy the moment more. Like when you're be present in the moment more and not worry what other people think or anything like that. Just like, especially on set when you're having a good time, just enjoy the moment, be present, and that way you can make it a memory, and enjoy it before it is a memory. That sounded better in my head. But
What?
yeah.
No.
Enjoy it before it becomes just a memory. Like enjoy it in the
Okay,
present.
that makes
Okay,
yeah.
next.
I
We
there you go.
got
There
there
you go.
eventually.
Lillian, how about you?
So wait, what's the
Oh
question
my
again?
gosh, I'm not paying attention.
I just confused
I
everybody. That's
know,
great.
I know. I've got to pay better attention to what
Yeah,
people are
new
talking.
resolution.
That actually seriously, that's a serious problem of mine. So I work, my non-creative, I
Hmm.
guess you could say, day job. I work as an administrator for a like not-for-profit and for a college. It's kind of combined thing. So
Hmm.
uh, my boss, who happens to live next door, he works for the college, and I work kind of directly for him. So but anyways, he has a tendency to, when he's giving me instructions, he does this whole stream of consciousness thing. Like he's explaining to, like, oh well, maybe we should do this, or maybe we should do this, and I'm one of these people that kind of tunes out in the middle of it,
Mm.
so I miss important details. So I wish he would just be succinct. This is what we got to do. He wants to tell
Hmm.
me his whole thought process, and I'm like, you lost me. You had me going off on this track and this track and this track. So I got to pay, kind of like, just to kind of attach to what Lisa was saying, is that being more present in the moment, because I tend to be like in my head thinking of like, oh, I got to do this, I got to, this, that, and the other, and pay better attention.
Hmm.
So,
What? That's the podcast. What?
what,
What?
what were we talking
With
about? Are we
three
on a
exclamation
We're gonna
marks.
be here next week. And he's like, wait,
Yeah.
what? What? I had this going on, and we're like, oh gosh, here we go. So,
2026. What?
Uh oh, here's Gary's back.
Gary is
I know.
Mm.
back. This time, Lord Gary Dando, producer. There you go. So, Gary, how are you doing? We haven't heard from you in about a month. Maybe I'm over exaggerating.
Oh, he's a
I just
producer.
like saying it that way.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hasn't been that long.
That's a long one. Oh, here we
Mm.
go. Cranberries and bimbos. Okay, so
Yep.
I think it's time to explain to Lisa about cranberries
All
and
right.
bimbos. Well, it all started off, a long, long time ago.
Why do I have a feeling this is
Fairyland.
the opposite of a fairy
No,
tale?
no,
But
no, no,
okay,
no.
here
This
we
is
go.
not anywhere near a fairy tale. I mean, maybe to some people it can be a fairy tale, but I guess or a fantasy. I mean, but it's
Oh
pretty
boy.
much. Is that our pizza? Hang on, guys. I'm muting. But can you explain it,
Saved by
Lillian?
the pizza.
I'll explain the backstory. It's not
Okay.
as exciting as it sounds, but it was actually one of the podcasts that
Okay.
it somehow came up of like the only kind of alcohol I've never been really a big drinker, but like
Hmm.
last year a friend of mine brought cranberry wine to a karaoke party we had. And I tried, I was like, oh my God, this is so good. And I became obsessed. And I
Hmm.
became like a little mini alcoholic for like a really short amount of time for because this is a seasonal item. So
Right.
I was telling that story on the same stream as it somehow came up that I don't like I'm in a relationship now where like I used to do more like I would do more stuff that I would be like scantily clad, I guess you could say, or
Hmm.
risque roles. Now in a relationship and like my boyfriend was just like, why do you gotta do all these roles, these like bimbo roles? Or like all these so it became some sort of combination of cranberries and bimbos. So like I know. Also I for my own film Deranged that I wrote a character that was like not the typical role that I was
Hmm.
cast in previously. So I was like, I'll write myself an interesting role, like something that's like, I don't know, character driven and
Hmm.
such. So somehow it became this like funny running joke on here of cranberries and bimbos. I don't even maybe Gary had said it at first, and it kind of spiraled. And so then I decided because every time we do a stream, someone in chat brings
Hmm.
it up a custom T-shirt like a week ago, so it should be here like next week, hopefully. That's got a picture of
Nice.
like some voluptuous woman floating on some vine of
Oh
cranberries
my gosh.
and a cranberry.
I love it.
So I'm gonna wear it. So once
Nice.
I get it, once it comes in, I'm gonna wear it on the screen. So that I mean, it's not that exciting with story. It's just one of these inside jokes that kind of just evolved in one of these streams.
Yeah. No, that's
But I think
fantastic. I love
cranberries
how
and
you're marketing from it. That's perfect.
yeah, it's just we just started laughing about like flying cranberry or flying bimbos, and I don't know. It's just like it
Hmm.
spiraled out of control. I'm
See,
like,
it
hey,
should
I'll
be a
put a
series
t-shirt on.
now. Like there's a flying one, there's a swimming one, like a whole bunch of,
Cranberry
just
bimbos.
a t-shirt series.
Yes,
It would be the next
So are
trend.
we going to talk
You'll
about
become a
that's
millionaire with
right.
it.
we can? Yeah, no, she said that. So we can do
No, I love that though. That's
cranberries and
fantastic.
bimbos, and then you have Jerry's cranberry bimbos and Jerry's.
What? What if
Jerry's?
Jerry is a bimbo that likes cranberry?
Okay, so Jerry is another inside joke.
Lisa knows what's up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When we first met Lisa, it was a very interesting conversation that we got. It's kind of like cranberries and bimbo, but
Yeah.
it's just I don't know, just Jerry came out of nowhere, huh?
People give it burger.
Yeah.
I don't know how it came unplugged.
Hang on.
Sorry, technical issues. There we go.
So it started with what's it called? Cranberries and bimbos. And no, wow.
It started with Jerry.
Jerry.
Jerry's.
Jerry.
Yeah.
And it started with things going in places where it shouldn't be going into.
Yeah.
You know,
Thank you, Cumber.
accident.
To clarify, make this sound less weird, I work as an EMT, so
Yeah.
so we
Oh,
kind of
Okay,
discuss,
there you
of things getting, in different places, and then people saying, I don't know how
go.
that got there.
It
I
was like I
swear.
was watching.
It's like,
It was like I was watching Jackass, and the guy shoved a toy car up his butt, and he goes to the doctor, and he gets X-rays, and he was like, "I don't know how it got up there. I have no idea." And he's like, "Did you shove it up your ass or what?" Because
hey, those cars you should come with a warning label. They just attack you for no
just
reason.
gosh,
I like how Lisa had to explain before everybody's like, what the hell does she do?
Yeah, like what do you do, Lisa? Where it's just, oh gosh, okay, here we go. Here comes the
Hmm.
Gary Dando show. Hard nipples in
Oh
the
boy.
snow.
Congrats.
That's common for everybody. It's that time of year. I guess I tell people, hey, it's that time of year when it's starting to get a cold, when you feel the wind breeze through your chest and you get hard nipples, and it's like, whoops, all right, here we go. I wanna. It's just, you know what?
That's your morning pep.
You know what's really painful? So I was playing football with my friends, and it was I think it was our Turkey Bowl game, and it was really cold. So a few years ago, and someone threw the ball, and I missed the ball for some odd reason, and it hit me directly in the nipple, and it hurt. Okay, and I am going to tell you the accuracy of that throw right to my nipple hurt. I still feel it in my voice. No, I'm sorry, that was a weird swallow. Yeah.
Traumatized for life.
So I they threw it. It went right up my nipple, and it hurt. I'm going to tell you, it was the most painful thing I ever felt playing football. Besides getting tackled,
Some people are into that.
it hurts. I know there are some people who like getting hot wax poured onto them
Yeah.
too. Like, I mean, I don't know who likes hot wax getting poured onto them. I know that's some sort of kink, but I mean, isn't that, can't you get like third degree burns from that or something like that?
Oh, I'm
Have you,
sure that's happened. Yeah.
have you gotten any calls for that type of stuff?
Not for wax, no. But
Well,
hey, the new year. Now you're giving people ideas, Keith. So,
oh my
if
god!
it happens, it's your fault.
New year, new me.
Well, if you need candles,
Oh my god!
Ah! There you go.
That deserves like the little golf clap.
You have to put that now on your warning label. This is not used to
may
get
cause.
poured on your body.
Hmm.
Hey man, what you do is your thing, not mine. I don't advertise it that way.
You still got to put the warning labels on
I
there.
got a lot of warning labels.
Oh my!
See, you.
I remember you had like a nice instruction booklet for the candles, didn't
Mm.
you? Or
You
page.
put it in your package because we were just running around with filming and everything.
Hmm.
So when I sent it to you, I was like, oh my gosh, I should just mail it to her. But I figured by the time by the time it gets to you, you would have been done with the candle.
You
Mm.
have been,
Oh yeah. Well, I can't remember. What'd you do? You screenshotted it or something?
Yeah, I sent you the.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, I know I read it. I'm just trying to think of where.
Mac, you know which one you should make? A cranberries and bimbo candle.
Oh my
oh,
god, I think of that.
Yes.
how would you do a cranberries and bimbo candle? Like, are you gonna have a picture of a bimbo like on there or something? Like holding cranberries? Like
Cranberries.
what are we doing? It's like the chocolate bars you get for Christmas. It's the
Oh my
sexy
gosh.
chocolate man. Have you seen
Oh
those?
my god.
Where it's
Instead
Mm-mm.
of
like
chocolate hunk,
the chocolate hunk. Yeah,
instead of chocolate chunk.
it's
Mm.
chocolate hunk, and it's literally like a chocolate dude, like a dude, like in chocolate.
That's
And
not for Christmas though. That's for Valentine's Day.
I saw it out at Walmart for Christmas
Oh
too. So
well,
ho 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 and Merry Christmas. You
hot
got your
Santa.
no, not hot. No, no, no.
Hot Santa.
You you get yourself a chocolate man.
A
It's a
chocolate man.
chocolate man. That's what it's literally called. The chocolate hunk. I think that's what it's called. But it's Happy New Bimbo Day.
Yes.
Once a year. Yeah. We'll have to make it a national day on our podcast where it's just everyone gets the t-shirt.
National holiday.
December 30th.
December
December
30th.
30th.
There you
National
go. That's
Bimbo and
as
Cranberry
of
Day.
today, I'm making it official. Uh, so, but yeah, going back to what we were talking about with before I got my pizza delivered. What was I gonna say? It was about the New Year's. What would I do
New year,
different?
new you.
Mm.
Yeah, New Year, new you. Yeah, right. And it fails. Like the gym is gonna be the worst for the next 2 weeks. So I
Yeah,
guess I got to
it's gonna
time
pack.
myself. Yeah, it's like
Oh yeah,
I'm
you're
not
right.
gonna
Yeah,
lie.
Yeah.
everybody's gonna be there.
I'm gonna open up a gym just for the first 3 months of the
Yeah.
year.
Yeah,
That's
there
for the
you
three
go.
months first.
For all the New Year's
Yeah. For
resolution people.
January to March, I'm going to keep a gym open. I'll call it Keith's Gym, and it's $200 to start up, and you pay it one time. Come as many times you want for the 3 months. You're done. We close down. We'll see you again next year. Under maintenance.
Good luck.
It's
No,
funny.
but like
Mm.
honestly,
Yeah.
like I see a lot of people who, oh gosh, I'm
Yeah,
doing
it
this.
kind of be like Spirit Halloween. They go in, they rent a space, then they're out.
They find a yeah, they find a
That's actually a really good gimmick though, Keith. That's
that's
like,
terrible.
I mean, I
But
don't know
there are
what the
legit people
logistics like
actually
if it
out
would
there trying to
make
like
sense like
lose
financially.
weight and change their diets, and you're gonna go over there and
Keith
screw
is
them
gonna trick
over.
him. He's
Yeah,
gonna
you're gonna
scam
be
him.
like, "Ooh, this is actually good," because I think there's a national quitting day. I think it's January 16th or something. I heard on the radio. It's a national quitting day,
Mhm.
which is everyone's New Year's, New Me fail, like where they just quit.
Hmm.
And
Mm,
I think the reason why people, and this is, um, going out to those people who have tried doing something different, like weight loss, right? Weight loss is one of the biggest things people want to do for the New Year's. They want to go into the summer, they want to have a good
They
body. They
want that unrecognizable hot summer bod.
Yeah,
I'm like trying to
yeah.
think how to phrase it.
Well, yeah. Basically, some people want. I think that's the biggest, like the biggest thing for people is their weight, and I think, um, like how can I put it? I think the hardest part about weight as a New Year's resolution is that people over, um, they shoot for the stars, which is great, but they're not realistic about like their goals. So if you're telling me
yeah.
in February I'm going to drop 45 pounds, is it possible? Yes. Is it safe? Absolutely not. Well, I don't know. I'm not a doctor,
No.
so but I just know from what my other friends who are doctors are, that's not safe to drop 45 pounds and that much.
Yeah.
And I think people,
Plus, you might gain it back
Hmm.
too. Like if you're not in other words, if you're not like making real sustainable changes, like in how you eat, your habit. Like I have really bad habits. I have
Puppy.
such a sweet tooth, and with oh yeah, I know. I thought I heard some jingling going on, but like at night, like after dinner, I like to eat like sweet stuff, and it's just like
Hmm.
it's a habit. Like it's so habitual. Like I just doing simple things like, okay, let me change my habit to have, instead of whatever number of cookies, say like let me have two or whatever, and then you just got to like do it over time.
you have to.
Yeah.
It's just like it's not sustainable if you're like, I'm not having any of this. I'm only, it's just like
That's the
Yeah.
worst.
you might do it for a week or two, but
It
then you're going to get mad at yourself. You got to change the habits.
I feel
it's like,
like it's. Go ahead,
go
Keith.
ahead, go ahead. No,
I
no,
was gonna
go
say
ahead.
I feel like it's like a when you know how I'm thinking of the movie Castaway, but when you're trying to go through the ocean, there's always like that break of the wave. It's like you have to get past that, and then it starts getting
Yep,
easier. So it's
yep,
like takes a certain number of days or something like that. I think scientifically, where like you can keep
yeah.
a habit going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the habit is
Yes.
over.
Yeah. It's like I want to say it's like 100
I
something days.
heard it was
I'm sorry, Keith.
14.
It's always a delay with
No,
the
you're good. I
streaming.
heard it's 14 days.
Mm.
From what people tell, it depends.
Only
Huh.
It
14?
See, they got to
depends.
get past that 2 week thing then.
Yeah, because
You gotta get
all right.
past the
Yeah.
16th.
So I used to weigh over. Oh, it was like what, 3 years ago. I used to weigh like close to like 350, like 340,
Mm-hmm.
and I dropped. My mindset was I need to drop weight. I need to drop weight. And every New Year's, I would go and try doing that. New Year, new me. Everybody has um, all the gyms open up. People are posting up videos, motivation videos, and then
Mm-hmm.
you're like, the first day it's cool, second day cool, third day you're kind of like you're gonna get like this really strong drive for a little bit, and then when people don't see results, I know this is like kind of turning into a health talk, but I mean it's
Yeah.
legit. You start
Yeah.
you don't see changes, and the problem with weight loss everybody's body is different. And like if we jump in, if I decide to I can eat something and I gain like 10 pounds, like that, versus somebody who can eat something and it's like, how are you still like that weight, you know?
Hmm.
So I think for everyone is just keep your goals simple. Like
Yeah.
it, especially with weight loss, that's a long run. You know, now if you're an asshole to people, that's just different. You know, because some people want to change their mind. Like I had my friend tell me, "Hey Keith, how do I not be an asshole as much?" I said, "Just stop being an asshole." I don't know how to fix that. Like I can't help you with
Come
that.
on, Keith.
Yeah.
Be a jerk.
Yeah,
Be an
be a jerk,
asshole.
be an asshole. Like he's like, how can I be more? I have no friends. I'm like, okay, well then stop being an asshole, or you're just hanging out with
You
really
know
cool
what?
people.
The first step to change is admitting you have a problem. So this
Mm.
person, the fact that they acknowledge that, because some people that are assholes won't don't think it's a problem. They're so much of an asshole. They're like, "What's the problem? I don't see the
That's
problem."
just me. What are you talking
So at
about?
least this person's like somewhat self-aware. They're like, "Wow, I'm really alienating people around me with my the way I speak or
Hmm.
what have you."
Yeah, I mean, I just think that
Max going for the pizza.
so hold on, give me a second. What? AI. What? Tell her we're on a podcast. Tell her we're on a podcast. You can come over after the podcast. Go over here. Sorry about that.
Bring her on the podcast.
Yeah.
Come on. Surprise guest.
There's no room. Um
Yeah, don't be an asshole, Keith.
oh use that against me. I'm just gonna sit there with my mask on. You know, you can wear the mask of shame for now. Put it on you.
But honestly, no, Lillian, like it's honestly too, I feel like some people like they enjoy being an asshole too. Like they make it a positive about themselves and then they don't think they have a problem either. They're like, "Oh yeah, I'm an asshole. I love it. I own it. I'm old. I don't give a crap." You know?
I guess
Yeah.
that's cool.
Well, it's part of an identity thing.
Yeah.
Like if you're somebody that like something that's
Yeah. Or like work related. Like I feel like there's a lot of factors.
I have friends that are
Yeah.
yeah.
I have friends that are who are like that. And they're I guess you can say they're my gym friends, so I guess I get somewhat motivated. So like
Sometimes yeah.
when me and Hilario go to the gym, and I'm not gonna lie because sometimes it gets kind of funny. So we go to a gym, and Hilario is going through his drill instructor moments. You know,
Hmm.
he's going through his flashbacks, and we're working out, and he goes complete drill instructor on me. So he's like, "All right, man, you gotta do abs. We have to do abs. I hate doing abs with Hilario because he destroys my abs, and I don't like it." So
Hmm.
we're doing he's like, all right, listen, it's only 20 reps, okay, just that's it, just 20 reps, you got one of
Hmm.
them, and they're called the leg raises, which I mean you all know, where you're on your back when you pick your legs up and you kind of go up and down and then out, and
Hmm.
those, and then the scissors and the flutter kicks. Oh my goodness. So every time we were at the gym, he's like, how are you supposed to lose weight if you can't even do one flutter kick? And I'm like,
Mm.
listen, I'm tired. I'm sore. Wah, wah, wah. You know what I mean? Like, so he literally steps on my ab, like my stomach, and he's like, come on, one, two. And he started kicking me, like, come on, man,
I
three.
can see
Let
this.
me help you. And he's like, that hurts. He's like, good. You're feeling the pain. Three, four, you know. But I guess you could say being an asshole can benefit somebody else because sometimes you just need,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
I
how
mean,
you use
sometimes
your superpower of being an asshole.
exactly.
Well, then you could also be too much in the on the other end of the pendulum of like somebody that gets walked all over
Mm-hmm.
too, like too
It's a
nice.
good
Yes.
point.
Yes.
So it's
Yeah.
striking a fine balance.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to be a little asshole, and sometimes you need to be a little kind and
Yeah.
compassionate.
I, exactly, because people are like that. I'm like that. I can get walked over. I used to get walked over on a
Mm-hmm.
lot, and then it's like when you finally talk back to them, they're like, "Huh? What? Huh? Me? What?"
Oh
And
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's like, "What do you mean?" And I'm just sitting here. I'm like, yeah, that's right. I told you. Like those movies where the nerds like, yeah, I told you. You're
Mhm.
like, we're gonna jump him right now. um,
Mhm.
so no, I think for people's resolution, whether it's weight gain or well, not weight gain, weight loss. Weight. There are some people who need to weight gain too. I mean, some people just don't
Yeah.
like, you know.
That's
Um,
actually a funny story.
I mean, it can go either way for weight loss, weight gain, for being an asshole or not even being an asshole, learning to put your foot down. There you
Mhm.
go. That's better.
Learning to be confident in yourself. That way you can stand up for what's important.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Confidence is key because I feel like in today's society, there's not a lot of confidence. It's
Yeah.
just, I'm going to keep my
Yeah.
mouth shut and I'm just going to do what I have to do because I don't want to go through the problems. So
Mhm.
be you and don't be different. Like this New Year's new me, be you, but just be a better version of you. That's
Cheers to
that's
that.
what it is. Because if you don't, yes, who's snapping?
The poetry snaps.
Okay. So because I really do agree that there are people out there who hate their jobs, who want to move out of the jobs, who don't want to work with people or just they want to make a change. When you make that change, do it the right way and
Yeah.
do it slowly.
Mhm.
Don't
Yeah.
just say screw this, I'm leaving because I know people who are like New Year's, new me. I'm leaving my job. I hate my job. And then they're broke
Mm.
and they don't have a job. And it's like I left an $85,000 job to go work at McDonald's. And I'm like, why?
Mm.
And they're like, because it's New Year, I'm trying to change. So I thought it was, take your time, make it realistic. That's the number one thing. Realistic is the best because if
Yeah.
you are making slow changes, I rather have you making half steps
Mhm.
forward than half steps back. And even if
Yeah.
you stop and hit
Or whole steps back.
whole
Yeah.
step,
Or like, yeah, like incremental changes that are going to stick long term as opposed to like really substantial
Yeah.
changes that you're just going to go,
oh,
back to what you were before. So,
it's like how would you say it? You do short term goals for a long term goal. So it's kind of like you're incremental
Mhm.
because, like I said, the
yeah,
first two
Yeah.
exactly.
Playing
weeks.
chess.
Yeah, there you go. The first 2 3
Yeah.
weeks is difficult, and I'm talking about anything weight loss, trying to be different because people already see
Yeah, changing a
this is
habit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
this is not easy, especially when you're an independent filmmaker who gets so stressed out of it.
Mhm.
The amount of people who tell me they're like, I can't do this filming anymore. I guess that's another thing of what I want to talk about from an actor's point of view. This is more of Lillian, Lisa. How would you, wow, how would you go about telling somebody who is in the film industry? I wouldn't say new, but someone who's been in there who's trying to get
Mhm.
up there. How would you say what's their best approach? Because I can't speak on an actor's behalf because I'm not really an actor.
That's
Who's,
a lie.
you said who's trying to get help? Did I mishear
Not trying
you?
to get like they're trying to get better at like what they're doing. Like they want to get better and like
Did anyone
they
else
want to
lose
make a
sound?
change. I did for a little bit. Can you guys hear me? Hello.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I know you can hear me.
Hmm.
No, I mean like through the head, through my earbuds.
Oh, okay. Lisa, can you hear us? I don't think you can hear us. Lillian, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
You can hear us? Hold on. Let's see Lillian. Some technical difficulties.
What's a podcast without technical difficulties?
Exactly. Wait, hopefully we let her back in. Hang on, give me a
Any
second.
podcast.
She had to restart. There you go. Can
Welcome
you hear
back.
us?
Yep. Loud and
Yep,
clear.
there. So, what would be something you would tell actors moving into the new year that they're trying to get in the film industry, trying to get in the film industry, trying to get better in their work,
Yeah.
but they're limited? How would you uh, help them? What advice would you give to them on that?
Um,
You go
Okay.
ahead, Lisa. I won't talk over you. So I
No,
gotta
I think
think.
we were doing the same thing. Like, honestly, I'd say just make yourself as knowledgeable as you can about the industry and the business aspect of it. I think that's how you're going to find how you're best able to market yourself. Instead of spending money on expensive headshots before, kind of figuring out your types and things like that. And then, we're so lucky in today's world to have iPhones with such great quality. Like, go out and film stuff. Go out. I know I've grown as an actor, not in classes, but just being on set and doing it. So I think, yeah, just doing it yourself, even when you're feeling you're feeling down, if you haven't booked something, just keep going at it, if that makes sense.
And I would say, you know, when you're if you're in Chicagoland, you may not be want to make a lot of money with acting. I mean, you might have to move to some other, although I don't know about Hollywood these days because I feel like they're kind of, you know, bleeding production companies and such. But um, don't go to that mindset like, oh, well, I got to be making tons of money. You're going to have to do a lot of like free
Hmm.
work and stuff for, local independent filmmakers. I mean, that's how I started. I just started networking and getting involved in as many projects as possible. Sometimes even going the student film route as far as auditioning for student films. I mean, I found it was a great experience.
Hmm.
And, you know, but yeah, if you go into it like thinking like, oh, I'm going to be this big movie star, it'll be very frustrating to you, especially since Hollywood's kind of in a transformation stage right now. Who knows where that's all going to go with AI and all of that. So don't put all your eggs in one basket, I guess.
Hmm.
But like what Lisa said is great advice that like, making your own stuff. That's what I did with my film Derange.
Hmm.
I wanted to play a certain kind of character, so I just wrote it.
Yeah.
But I mean, might have to be prepared though to like come up with your own, fund some of it yourself.
Hmm.
That's just it is what it is. If you like have a passion project or something, or oh, I really want to play this role or I want to tell this story, But other than that, just do join. Like I was in a lot of Facebook acting groups, and you'll see audition notices posted, and yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, you mentioned networking. I think a big part of networking too is just how you present yourself on set. If you're working with
Yeah.
directors, working with actors, be kind, show how hard of a worker you are, show how much you love, getting your face dirty and doing what with dirt, not anything else. Specify there, but just showing how hard of a worker you are, because oftentimes, especially I started out with student films and independent films too, the same directors will want you back. Those, okay, this is an actor I can trust to to do things, and that'll get you
Yes.
places as
Yes.
well.
Exactly.
Or even too, like somebody that you've worked with will be like, hey, I know a good spot to fill that role on a different
Mm-hmm.
project. And
Yeah.
then you, yeah, you grow your networking through that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm not
Yeah,
saying
I can't tell you how many times. Oh, go ahead, Max. Sorry.
no, no, no. Go ahead, go ahead.
I was just going to add to that. Yeah, I can't tell you how many times that on set when I've met different people, they see how I am on set, and they have their own project
Mm-hmm.
going on essentially. Maybe they're either the producer on it, if they're another actor sometimes, oh, they're on a project and they're looking for, and I think that might have been what you were saying, Mac. That I've that's how I found roles, just doing
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And like I guess maybe Paul is it keeps showing up. Yeah, if
Yeah.
you keep showing up and it, you're just going to naturally hear about other opportunities going on.
Yeah.
So
And too, I feel like it gives you a good mindset, because as long as you're doing all that you can, whatever happens, you did the best you could. You can give yourself that peace of mind. You did it.
There's always, if you don't do it, there's no opportunity. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. Put
Yeah.
yourself out there. One thing that I started seeing people do is if they're not getting any roles, make roles yourself. Like what
Mm-hmm.
Lillian said, but it's simple. Like cell phones are like really good, like Lisa said. The cameras are good. Everyone has a camera that can probably compete against my camera, all in just a smaller version of it. You
Mhm.
know, you can compete again. It's not even the camera that people. Everyone's so focused about the quality. On Instagram, I saw a post. I think it was Steven Spielberg who was talking about. I don't look at the quality of the film.
Mhm.
I look at the story. I look at the
Yeah.
portrayal because everyone just sees when someone says a professional film, right? And people might be like, ah, well, that's not true. But I think a professional film is not your camera and how good it is. That's like saying I'm driving a car that's worth $100,000 and the driver has no experience versus driving a car that's worth $1,000 with a very experienced driver. It's not the camera. The quality just has to be enough for people to understand what's going on, to visually see. The
Mhm.
audio has to be enough to just to hear. You don't need all this expensive stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's what, but people will watch you and how you portray it. If I'm telling you a story at story time and you hear the ringing like Ace, thanks Ace.
Sounds
um,
nice.
um,
Yeah.
if I'm telling you a story, and you're gonna fall asleep if I am just monologuing. I'm just like, ma, 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 and this is if I'm being very out there and I'm being like very, um, if I'm being very energetic and explaining that story to you, you would be tuned in, even though it's a basic story, you know.
I'm
So,
sorry, guys. I'm having issues.
Ace, you're stealing my thunder, man. What are you doing? Um,
She's completely
but
ruined it by setup.
what I tell people to do, write a short story. Doesn't have to be long. Um, maybe 2 minutes. Write a short story. If you can't film it, have your friends film it for you, and just say, "Hey, listen, I need you just to do this, this, this," and all you're doing is portraying yourself acting.
Mhm.
Because I'm going to be honest, I really do feel like films are becoming shorter and shorter because our attention spans are not like we can't sit through 3 hour movies anymore without kind of like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna do this. Short stuff is always great
Ooh.
from a director's point of view. To other people who are trying to become directors, I will tell you, don't give up. Get as much hands-on experience as you can. Directing is just mainly about directing's not just about putting work out there. It's about directing your team to making sure you get good quality from everybody out there. Um, and that's what I will tell everyone who's starting new. Get your hands dirty. Work on student films, like Lillian said. What Lisa said. That's like something really amazing. Um, Also, try something different. I think the biggest thing I see people what they like to do is if you strictly do action, they will just do action films. They won't try drama, they won't try theater, they won't try horror. Like I hated doing horrors. I hated watching horror films. And look what I'm doing right now, which is probably one of the most successful like the
Mm-hmm.
most successful thing I've done is the Red Huntress, and I don't even like horror, and I just decide I'm stepping out of my comfort zone and filming
Mhm.
horror. Now everybody's over here like, this is amazing. How do It's like, okay, why didn't I do that before? Then I wouldn't be here, like,
Well,
doing that.
and I find that like you bringing that up is like really important because everybody lately, at least like the people that I surround myself with, is always saying like have that uncomfortable conversation. Like if you don't like something, change it. If you want to try something new, change it. Have
Mhm.
that uncomfortable situation, conversation, experience, whatever, because you might find in the moment, yes, it's uncomfortable because you're not used to it. But then when you go and try it, like Yuki, it could be something that comes out amazing and
Mhm.
it's not um it's no longer uncomfortable. It's a familiarity, so you're
Yeah.
comfortable with it the next
You
time you do
grow.
it. And exactly, you grow, you become better. and your skills also kind of expand with that
Mm-hmm.
same thing.
Because there's different type of acting for different type of genres, different type of filming for different
Mm-hmm.
type. You got to find your niche and just kind of work with it. But I always learned is if you're comfortable, there's a problem. So I
Yeah.
always there's if you're comfortable, there's something wrong going
Gotta do
on.
something else.
There's something else going on. So it's
Mm-hmm.
better to live in the okay, in the uncomfortable zone, but I'm learning it versus just okay, well, I'm just gonna be comfortable about this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean,
And
I go ahead.
if you ever stop learning, why are you doing it? Because
Mm-hmm.
life is about learning and exploring and growing. If you stop yourself, you're at a plateau. Why are you continuing to do the same repetition, the same patterns? If you continue to have those like uncomfortable experiences, you'll continue to learn. You might learn, hey, I don't like that. Don't do it again. Or hey, I don't
Mm-hmm.
like this specific way. Do it this way. What's going on with Barry? I can't see the.
I just put
Mm-hmm.
it start basic first to get the practice, like
Yeah.
short films,
Yeah.
I think needs or documentaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean something basic. Don't go for the like again. Don't go for losing 100 pounds on your first month. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Go for losing the 3 pounds. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And start going through there because it's so easy to say all these things, but when you start doing it, like people just say, "Oh, directing's easy." I had so many people tell me, "Oh, I don't know why you just don't do it like this. Directing's easy." And I'm like, "All right, why don't you step in my shoes and run it for a little bit?" And then they're gonna, then they realize it's not that easy. Um,
Yeah.
you
Kind of
just
going off of. Mm-hmm.
go ahead,
Go
go,
ahead, Keith.
go. No, go
I
ahead,
was
go
gonna
ahead.
say, going off of what you and Mac have been saying too, is I think, going back to the basics on acting is learn how to connect to a character. Action scenes and explosion, all that is so cool, but we fall in love with the character. We fall in love with their story. And speaking of stepping outside of comfort zones, every character you play is going to be different. So every time, even if you nail one role, every time you go back into another one, it's going to be, you're still going to have the nerves, you're still going to have the fear. And if you learn to connect to a character, then you'll have that foundation. Okay, I get in their mindset, what are they doing? And then it makes acting not necessarily easier, but it allows you to make it more real, which I
Yep,
think helps you connect a lot better.
yep, and that's the biggest thing because right now, everyone is so, and that's a good point. Everyone right now is so focused on look at this explosion, look at this scene, look at this
Mm-hmm.
war scene, look at this
Yeah.
blood splatter. It's so great, it's so cool. But does your story? What's your story? Like,
Yeah.
it's showing me these scenes. At that point, just do a 5 second shot of what you do because I'll watch something and I'll be like, what's going on here? Like, I just know there's three people here
Mm-hmm.
doing X, Y, and Z.
Well, and we've seen that with modern Hollywood produced horror movies around Halloween. Like it's just blood, guts, and gore, and
Mm-hmm.
murder, slashing, killing, hauntings, whatever. And it's like, what's the story here?
Some
Yeah.
people like it. Some people like that.
That's cool, but
And
Other people are like,
honestly,
I like story.
hmm, yeah, and honestly, I think that's what makes independent films so special is oftentimes student films, independent films, you're limited on budget. So you can't do these huge CGI explosions, you can't have cars flipping, and so you have to really focus on a great story that really pulls in the audience to have them care, to have them be excited to see this journey of these characters versus something, flipping in the air and
I mean, I guess it's cool to show that you have what's that term called in the
like the
film?
skills.
No, what is that term called? You have it makes your project look expensive when you have like
Oh, a high production value.
yeah, production
mm,
value. Like when we were filming Red Huntress in the first episode, you see horses in the back walking because we were filming where there's a trail is. Cool, that adds high production value to it, but I mean the story is still very important. I mean,
yeah.
because
Yeah, it's a good balance. You find a
right,
balance.
you have to find that balance, and if you just can't, then yeah. I think my biggest thing too, for my last thoughts for that is, I know there are actors out there who are just stubborn, who will not work with other people, but only like one person or two people, I would say
Mm,
to other people and to them, you know, I definitely encourage if you, because I have people complaining to me who are like, I can never get into this and I can't do that, but yet again, they don't want they put themselves in that position. You know, don't dig yourself a hole and think you're comfortable in that hole, because
mm-hmm,
you're not going to go anywhere. You're just not. If you're just going to tell me I'm only going to work with this director and that's it, you're not going to go anywhere. Be prepared to not get as many um, views and likes. And speaking about views and likes, my biggest pet peeve is when people focus so much on just getting the attention of the
Mhm.
audience, like social media wise,
mm-hmm,
and actually showing their talent. Like when you come into the film industry, like when you, well, independent film, it's not about who has the most likes, who has the most views on
mm-hmm.
their videos or whatever. It's about what you can put out there. I'd rather see
Yeah.
somebody with 5 films that are really good versus someone who sends me 25 films that are like meh, they're okay, you know. Because I always look at quality over quantity. Even if it's a low budget film, don't
Hmm.
be afraid to put that work in there. If we
Yeah.
watch it. I'm sorry, like when people send me their resumes, I look at all that stuff. I will look on YouTube. I will look the internet
Yep.
and try finding what you've done, and I will watch it and I will see, okay, is this person a good fit? Because people think I'm not going to put that one because it's crappy on it. It's like, no, I actually watch it. There's a lot of directors who go out and look at their stuff. It's not like, hey guys, check this out. I have a cool explosion of me jumping behind the back, like cool, you know, doesn't work like that. Get out
Hmm.
there, look for quality work. That's my thoughts on
Yeah. And I feel like the passion that, especially in independent film, it shines through. No
it.
matter the quality, no matter what it is, you're gonna see that someone was really passionate in making this, and I think that makes it just that much more
I
special.
There's always someone said people like Terrifier 3, but they don't want a Terrifier 1. It's like they
Mm.
never like how it started, but they always want the best version. It's like you're never gonna get the best version until you start somewhere. So, and I hate to say it, a lot of
Yeah.
the films that are getting popularity are the ones that are not like that are super low budgets, that are like basic. You don't need a lot of money to film a good story. That's just, you know, as long as everything's
Very true.
basic. I mean, regardless, you go on YouTube, they're gonna drop the quality anyway.
Yeah.
So
You learn that from experience.
yeah, it's like you'll watch something great and
Hmm.
it's like, what happened to my Ultra HD UH LED, my
Hmm.
20K.
my 20K 4D, film turned to a 720 film? What? So
Well, I mean, if you really think about it too, a good story only costs you a pen and a paper. You
ah
just got to
yes,
write it. And then,
copyright,
yeah.
and then copyright. Yeah,
Well,
it's like $75, but
That's the
yeah,
nitty gritty.
yeah, that's nitty gritty. But protect your work. I'm just gonna let everyone know, protect your work. Like cover your ass.
yeah.
Mail
Protect
it
your
to
work.
yourself if you can't afford copyright.
I would just get copyright.
Well, you yeah, absolutely, but I'm saying like if you mail it to yourself, as long as it's postmarked,
Does
a
that count
specific date,
though?
it does because it shows that you had the original idea. And so like if you
Hmm.
postmark, let's just throw the Red Huntress, right?
Right.
If you did not get that copyright and you had it postmarked on February 2nd, 2023, and somebody in like or I'm sorry, May 5th of 2023 decided I'm gonna take this idea because it's not protected, and like you go in a court of law and you are against the judge and you're like, no, look at this postmark, this is my original idea. They didn't come out with theirs until May 5th. It's actually like reasonable evidence.
Wow. I didn't know that. I
Yeah,
did
that's how
not
people
know that.
used to do it. Like before copyright was like a more popular thing. That's how people used to do it.
Huh. That's interesting. I did the farmers, the poor man,
Yeah.
what they call it, the poor man copyright. I
Pretty
don't know.
much. I
I
mean,
I don't know.
I
Mhm.
mean, considering
me into that shipping stuff because holy
I know.
cow! I think in perks alone, I spent almost $115 in shipping everything out, and that's not including
Jeez.
like the actual like envelopes, and that's
Yeah,
just
that's
shipping
just
alone.
shipping.
So, so we have 15 minutes left in our podcast.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not gonna go long. I'm gonna have everyone enjoy because tomorrow everyone's gonna get into it and stuff, and I don't want to bore our audience because it's like whatever. No, I'm kidding. No, but we're keeping 15 because I'm really hungry and I want my pizza.
I'm
So I am thinking I am thinking with my stomach right now. Thank you. So I just want to do a brief talking a little bit about what's coming up. Like I said, we have. Well, first I'll go around the squares right now. We'll start with Lily. Anything new upcoming you want to let the audience know to check out, or what?
Yeah, I don't know exactly which month we're filming in. I think it might be February, but a short film called God and Stan that I'm co-starring in with Joe Rosing. I play God, short for Godiva, in this it's a comedy. It's got it's interesting because it's basically kind of like the relationship between God and Satan, that they were in a romantic relationship and they're on the outs, and that's the origin story, I guess. I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, Joe Rosing is playing Stan, which is a way of saying Satan, I guess, in there. And actually, somebody on uh, uh, the Red Huntress. Oh my gosh! All of a sudden, I'm drawing a blank. The actress. She plays my. Angel. Angel
Angel.
Trigar.
Yeah,
Is that how
yeah,
you say her last name?
yeah. Angel.
Yeah, she's playing my loyal angelic sidekick, and then Dave Cook, he's playing Joe Rosing. Oh, Joe Rosing's also in the Red Huntress. Now that I think about it,
Yeah,
and he's playing his
you were
sidekick.
on set with
So
him. Got that there.
you see how well I pay attention, guys. See, that's a good New Year's resolution. I really got to be,
You got 24 hours
paying better attention.
together.
But
24 hours.
yeah, and so that's kind of an upcoming film, and also playing a small role in The Clown Dies at Midnight, part two. I'm playing a roller derby killer assassin. I don't know. I got to brush up on my skating skills. That I think we're going to be filming that
Okay.
maybe in March or
Okay.
July. No, I'm sorry. So
Ice skating
yeah,
or
so I got a
roller
couple things
derby?
upcoming.
Roller?
What's that?
Wait, ice skating or roller derby? Derby.
Roller skating. So
Ooh.
I gotta get so my I gotta get in shape a little more, overall,
Just
just get some
partner.
good toning going on, and I gotta brush up on my skills. What's that?
If you need a partner, I got you.
Oh, really? Yes. All right. Awesome. And thirdly, I'm planning on working on video version of my movie review thing of Lillian Likes.
Okay.
So I haven't kind of ironed out the logistics of it yet, but I want to do like I don't know. I haven't like I said, I haven't figured out all the I wanted to do before, but I think that's a new year thing I'm gonna work on. So yes, Bimbos on ice,
Bimbos on
exactly.
ice.
Fitting.
Bimbos on ice, buddy. So, how
So
about you?
yeah, that's what I got
Nice.
coming.
How about you, Lisa? What's anything upcoming you want to tell the audience?
Yeah. The Spy Thriller is the big one. If Lady Outlaw does well, hint hint and fingers crossed, then there may be a trilogy in the works. We'll see. Um and then actually going to be I'm writing right now my first short film to direct,
Oh,
so I'm very excited about that.
yay!
Thank you. I feel like I went with the Western genre because I just came off of Lady Outlaw and I love it. So I'm gonna shoot for that. It'll be back in the time period of the Civil
Oh,
War and yeah, I'm excited to maybe film that
there
this
you
summer. So
go.
If you need
Nice.
post
yeah.
production help,
I got you.
That's awesome.
Thank
First
you.
time directing. I always like listening to
Yeah,
people when
I'm
they tell me
excited.
their first time. It's awesome stories how they're like, wow, like so much different when you're on that side of the field versus like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta get my baseball cap and my mom jeans out. I
I
gotta
have
have the
to
whole
get the
look,
little chair, the director's chair. That I hate because
Uh-huh.
they feel like they're gonna break. Um, so
Mm.
all right, Mac. What about you? What's coming up with you? Anything besides
So
the Red Huntress?
I mean, yeah, the
Any
red
stuff
huntress.
with
But I want to really focus on like doing the candles and getting more sales growing than what I had in 28 what is it, 2024. Um so that's really it. Just coming out with like new summer smells, something for the spring because that's kind of the season that we're going to go
Mm-hmm.
into. Going exploring with new like candle molds to see like what works, what doesn't work, just stuff like that.
nice? So
Nice.
I guess for me,
Nice.
a few things are coming up. Well, we got Red Huntress filming, so that's coming up. And like I said, I'll be updating everything for the Indiegogo by Thursday, so everyone can check that out and help donate. I will be also starting, on top of doing these podcasts, I'll be doing more YouTube tutorials on VFX. So I'm gonna try to at least get uh, one or two uh, tutorials out a week. So um, people have been asking me how to do all these VFX and stuff, and they don't want to pay for a class. So all I'm charging them is a subscribe. Just give me a subscribe to my channel and share it. That's all I'm asking. I'll be teaching everyone how to do basic visual effects. So
Nice.
hopefully soon I guess I can say yeah. That's really it for that, and definitely just I guess right now it's just pushing out the Red Huntress. That's going to be on Tubi in January, so both episodes are going to be up there. So I got to go through that pain, Lillian. I'm going to be calling you a little bit to help me out with that. So yeah, so that's really what we're going to be doing for me. A lot of work. I got to make these like new perks that we're really pushing for now. So, uh, there's some new perks for the werewolf that we have, which is cool because it's like eyeball, like werewolf, like body parts in a jar, and people can get them in a
Jar.
jar. It's like those like jars that are like this big, and then they have like
Werewolf in a jar.
yeah, not like a little one, like like squeezed in body parts of a werewolf and not anything like
Mm.
bad body parts, eyeballs and stuff
I feel
like
like that'd
that,
be a cute perk though. Just a little tiny baby werewolf in a jar.
just an angry
That would, yeah.
I think yeah.
or one that's just smudged to the face of the of the jar, just like smacked up.
Fair.
So, but that's really it. Like I said, I've been kind of taking a break a little bit because it's the holidays, so it's good
It's the
Yeah.
holidays. You deserve a break.
mental break. So I'll be getting into that. Also, so episode 2 we will be doing a premiere for it. It won't be like a live premiere, but what we are going to be doing is we're going to be releasing episode 2 on YouTube. So I'm just going to throw out an example. Say we're going to release it next Monday. Um, the release will be at like 6:30, and this is just an example, so don't expect it, everyone. I don't want people saying, "Hey, you said on your podcast that the release was next week." I'm like, that's an example. So it'll be 6:30. You can go on YouTube just because I know Restream. The quality is not the best on Restream, and it lags a lot. So everyone can Uh, watch it on YouTube when it's out, and then right afterwards we will be having our live podcast, kind of like our review with the cast, and everyone can
Nice.
jump in, and we'll be introducing a lot new things. It's so good. I am very The ending is just amazing. Like I love the ending for episode 2. I think it starts getting really dark, and that's what I like it's starting to get scary. And I would say episode 3 is very much paranormal. It's paranormal, trying to deal with itself. I'm not gonna. I almost slipped up and said some things I shouldn't have said about the
Spoiler
yeah, I
alert.
know. I can't say it. I can't say it. I just know who's going to be a part of it and possibly who will be a part of it. So I'm still doing some more calls. There's going to be a lot of action. I'm going to tell you that, and there's going to be a ton of jump scares. So a great example of how episode three is going to be is everyone watch The Nun. It's the Conjuring off series. It's not the off series. It's still part of the Conjuring, but it's called The Nun, and it's just very. I
If
find
you're
it
not
scary.
familiar with the nun at this point in time,
Go watch The
I'm a little disappointed.
Nun. Go watch The Nun if you haven't watched it, and that's the vibes you're gonna get for episode three. So, and then for episode three, hopefully we are going to have an in-person premiere where everyone can come in, and it's going to be a red carpet. Fingers crossed it will be episode three, so we'll be showing episode one, two, and three on there. And we'll be having that in person. So that will be an awesome opportunity for everyone to meet the cast. It'll be a good fundraising opportunity as well. And yeah, we're really gonna try pushing this, and we need everyone's help. So if you can't donate, not an issue. We're really going to just share it. That's all it needs: sharing and reposting. And
Sharing is
yeah, sharing
caring.
is caring. Sharing is very much caring. So I think that's everything. We are coming up on our 3 minute mark. So does anyone have any last comments before I cue the music in my closing talk? Anything anyone want to say? No, to the audience, nothing. Quiet. That's perfectly fine.
Happy New
Yeah.
Year. Have a safe and happy
Yes, yes.
Eve 'cause
Happy
tomorrow.
New
So
Year.
And
what's happening? We
Uh-oh.
can't hear you, Keith. Yeah, your audio is really quiet, Keith.
Yeah.
Like we can.
can
I
you
mean,
hear
I
me right
can't
now?
hear you hardly at all.
There you go.
Yes, yes.
Okay, cool. So, sorry that music cued in at the wrong time. So yeah,
Mm.
from the cast of the Red Huntress and us, we wish everyone a happy New Year and
Yes.
be safe. Make
Yes.
sure that make sure that you keep up with your New Year resolution, and
Go past the two
yeah,
weeks.
go 2 weeks.
You
You
got
guys
this.
Yes.
got this. Like,
Yeah.
Space.
yes, get uncomfortable. It's okay. You know what I mean? Like you can get
I'm always uncomfortable in whatever situation I'm in. I'm always stressing, nervous, anxious,
let this
something,
year,
but it keeps me honest.
let this
So
be
that's the
the
main
year
thing.
where
It
it's
helps me grow.
let this be the year of more success and less stress. That's
Yes.
how I
Yes.
that's how I look at
Yeah.
it. It's something that
I love the
yeah, this
Poetry snaps, man.
you know.
Poetry snaps. People off
yes, yes, yes. I love it.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean everybody. Where's the me? Oh, okay. We have
Huh?
to do one.
Wait,
He
what,
wants to
what,
do
what?
a meme review.
Yes.
Oh,
Hmm.
I
Yes.
don't have
He's just unprepared. He
I
probably
don't
doesn't
have
have
any
any.
memes. I couldn't find any memes.
What the hell?
I can upload some memes if you guys want to talk about. Well, no, I don't think I can do that. I don't have any memes. I'm sorry. We're gonna start next year even better with memes next month.
That's his
My
New
New
Year's
Year's
resolution.
resolution
Paul is.
next year we'll be on here next year. We'll see y'all next year.
Next year he'll be more prepared.
We'll have some new things. I'm going to update.
Gary's really pushing the Funko Pops for perks for Red Huntress. So he said that
Ooh.
like
That's not
3
bad.
times.
So
So
yeah, I can look at that. I mean, my thing with the perks, I try not to get it too expensive because I know like people. Yeah, like I mean, if I got Funko Pops, I don't know how much it will be, but I'll definitely look into that because I think that would be pretty cool.
They're kind of
Um,
pricey.
huh?
They're kind
Yeah.
of
They're
pricey.
pricey to make custom made. Like
Yeah.
unless you like even 3D printer, I think it's kind of expensive. But don't worry, we have some really It's all good. I'm sorry, Paul. I'm sorry. I'll make sure next Monday I'll have something good. Who knows? Maybe
So
Paul will be on our show next Monday.
come
How
on,
about that,
Paul.
Lee? Yeah, Paul. You know what? I'm making it official. Paul's gonna have to. He's gonna be one of our special guests next Monday.
He's
So
gotta be the main man.
yeah, so we're gonna
Yay!
force Paul into doing this. Get uncomfortable, Paul. It's okay.
Come on, Paul.
So,
We're
That's
not
your
gonna
new slogan for your show, Keith, right there.
what? Get uncomfortable. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
So but Gary, like what we have, like I said, we're gonna have some cool perks. I know one of them is shown the mask earlier. I don't know if you jumped on, but you can get one of these masks and it's signed, and it's a new character that's involved in here. Just giving you a heads up, this is a new character, monster.
I have a question for Gary.
Yes. Wait, I'm not Gary.
You're
Yes,
not
Gary.
Gary.
Yes.
If we were to do Funko Pops, given the retail value of it for a custom made one, how much would you spend for a perk?
Ah.
Given the idea that like it did come with the Funko, we do have to spend on shipping, and the film still has to have some sort of money going into it from that perk.
You're getting too business tech right now.
Well, no, like I'm curious, like if that's something that people want, then cool. But if people, the thing is, if a Funko Pop costs $50 to do custom and $10 to ship, right?
Okay.
To anywhere, so that's $60 that
Off
we
the
have
bat.
to sell it for off the bat.
Yeah.
The film at that point doesn't profit anything. But if we sell it for $150, we can use 60 of that to ship it and buy it and do all that. But then we can use that other 90 to profit from it. But it's got to be realistic. Like, will people actually buy it at that point?
We can do special ones where they can get it. If you really want one, we can make special ones.
I'm just seeing if it's something that people actually want.
I don't know.
That's why I'm asking Gary. He's the one who threw it out there.
Gary obviously
Gary
wants one.
He wants one.
Yeah.
He wants one with the cranberries and bimbos one too. So we'll do that.
That's right.
But here's what we'll do.
Uh-oh, Keith. Your mic is got cut or something. Do you guys hear me clear? Okay. Keith, I barely hear you.
Mute your mic.
Now talk.
All
All
right.
right. No, I'm not.
Oh.
Now Mac is really loud.
There we go. No, unmute your mic. There you
All
go.
right. There you go. Oh,
There we
technical
go.
difficulties.
I unmuted me so you could stay muted, so you could be heard.
Oh,
But
okay.
evidently that didn't.
Okay. So yeah, so what we'll do is I'll put up in the group, or well, not in group chat. I'm sorry. I will put up in the Facebook page a cool little poll, and I will have certain options out there that people can vote on what they would like to see as a perk, what they would get. Because like I said, there's so many awesome perks we can make for the Red Hunters. We just want to make sure it's something that you can use. It's something that we can use. Who is this? It's someone. Can you hear me now? Memes on the way. Oh my gosh! What's in the? Can you hear me now?
Hi, Aria.
Hello, Aria. So, yeah, I'll put up words.
Yeah.
I'll put up a post and I'll say which one's what, because like I said, we want to be realistic with pricing, and we don't want to be like, okay, this is for $500, and it's like, who would want to pay $500? If you will, that will be grateful.
Gary might for a Funko Pop, a cranberry bimbo Red Hunter.
Like, we'll make a custom made one.
Cranberry Bimbo Funko Pop
Of Lillian.
in her red.
But Gary is now obligated to buy it, so because we've called him out on air.
So
Yeah.
and also a cool thing is I found out on Indiegogo is that you can donate to Indiegogo without getting a perk. So if you're like, you know what, I don't want any of these, I just want to donate, you can definitely go into Indiegogo, and it's all the way on the right side. I didn't know it, and it's just a contribution, and it goes
It's right after the perks.
right after the perks. Yeah, and I'm like, it's pretty cool. So, uh, I have people donate, and they're just like, yeah, yeah, we're just here, use it for the stuff. So yeah, but basically, I'm gonna call that because we are past our one. Fuck.
Well, you know what, Gary? You opened the can of worms.
We're here. It's okay to be uncomfortable, Gary. It's okay to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's the new
Happy
year.
New Year, Gary. Thank you. We appreciate. I'm in deep water now. Yeah. Yep. You are. You are. You brought it up. So, all right, everyone. Well, again, we wish you a happy New Year. I hope everyone stays safe, and we'll see you next Monday or next year. I don't know if I said
I'll
so.
see you next year, guys.
And I will be we'll be talking about new things for the Red Huntress. Everything new, new vibe, new change, and also I will be releasing the new character, two new characters and monsters that will be introduced in there. So we'll see everyone next Monday. Deuces. Yeah, Happy
Happy
New
New
Year.
Year.
What? All right, everyone. Have a good night.
Be safe, everyone.
Bye.